Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. I am the Black Dove Oracle. So, welcome back to another podcast. It's audio only. I might be doing these for a minute, you all, because I'm in the middle of moving and there's just a lot of moving pieces. But trust me, when the video comes back on, it's going to be a brand new setting and a whole new setup, so I think it'll be worth it. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from people who like to just listen to the audio, so I do hope you find them helpful. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support of this brand new channel. I really appreciate you. I love you. You all are like really consistently showing up to support me. Even when I go live, I'm starting to recognize people's names and I'm really welcoming in new folks too. And it's just been a really great experience. If you are new here, my name is Kamara. I'm a psychic medium and I channel spirit, my ancestors, and the Divine Sibyls, who were the original oracles, all who sit at the feet of God. So know that these messages are channeled with intention and care and delivered that way as well. Now, spirit has been on something. I'm going to tell you right now. These topics, I have a whole list of them, and Spirit's like, and do this one next, and do this one next. I think with this eclipse that's coming up in Pisces, that's around the time I'm recording this. This is a timeless reading, though. Spirit is wanting you to be at the very top of your game, at the very top of your confidence, even, I'm hearing, because Spirit is feeling like you need to just know how much of a badass you really are. And because new levels, new devils, right? And so Spirit is saying there's just like new levels you're getting ready to enter, and you can't really go back and kind of be in this old energy. Not that I think you guys are, but it's almost as if Spirit just wants to put in its 2 cents. So this channeled message, Spirit wrote clearly on the list yesterday, because it was just like I was sitting down packing and Spirit's like, no, I need you to write down this list of readings. I was like, okay, I'm obedient. So where your competitors fail, and Spirit is saying this is going to be the blunt truth. I think Spirit is saying it has to be the blunt truth, because even if you're thinking it, some of you are just so humble, so compassionate, so grounded. You would never say it out loud to someone else what you notice about your competitors. Some of you would even not even acknowledge that you have competitors, but Spirit is saying you do. You do. And Spirit is saying this is going to be a general reading, general channeled message rather, but some groups may focus on something that's more relational oriented, others for work and career, others in family. I don't know what's going to show up, y'all, but Spirit is saying this is going to be kind of like the midnight tea. It's just going to be like what Spirit comes up for each group. There's 4 groups. Take it where it resonates. Timestamps will definitely be in the description box below. I have my tea here. I just had a snack. I did all my personal readings for the day, and those are caught up. So if you were waiting for your personal reading to post, it's posted. And first of all, I just want to say thank you all for even engaging me for personal readings. I love doing them. They have a very special vibe, and I do film them with all the cards showing, and yeah, it's really a beautiful experience, and I love getting to know the people that I'm connected with on this channel. So why before we even get into the readings, one last thing. If you want to book me for a personal reading, my website is here, www.blackdoveoracle.com. If you want to reach out to me because you're liking my vibe and you want to collaborate, do some business together, maybe even do a reading together if you are a fellow reader, psychic, or channeler, blackdovedreamer@gmail.com is my email. And lastly, you all, if you can, before you click off and you resonated with something in this reading, could you please give it a like? I really love your comments. And please, if you are not subscribed yet, this is your official invitation. Please subscribe, click that bell because you'll get notified when I upload new readings, which is almost daily. Almost. I'm getting there with that consistency. Okay, my honeys, let's go to group number 1. I am clearing the air. The decks have been prepared. The prayers have been said. And the prayers are asking my guides, my ancestors, the Divine Sibyls, who all sit at the feet of Spirit, to put their energy into these readings, making sure that for all groups 1, 2, 3, and 4, that we are getting the most clear and accurate picture of what they need to benefit their life in this very moment. Okay, Ashe. So, group number 1, Spirit wanted me to use this deck that I actually had just used for one of my personal readings. I just took it out, but Spirit was like, no, take a card from there for group number 1 to start it out with. I usually use one card from one of the decks that Spirit points to, and we just see group number 1 where your competitors failed. I actually got 2 cards here. Very interesting. One is the Star, and the other one is 8 of Water, 8 of Cups. Group number 1, I'm going to describe you first in terms of how your competitors see you. Because Spirit said it's important for you to get this snapshot. Your competitors in group number 1, let me just give you the overall theme in one word: jealousy. This is where your competitors fail. Because jealousy is such an interesting energy. It's one where somebody is compelled to look at themselves as somebody who does not have enough, who can't get enough. And so when they see this enoughness, when they see this fullness, even this prosperity, even this abundance on someone else, they immediately go to a place of feeling mad, frustrated, envious of the person who has what they want. And Spirit is saying here, your competitors, group number 1, this is about you. This is about how you show up in the world, how you navigate the world. Your competitors, group number 1, they fail because they don't understand that your gifts, the reason why you show up as a star, the reason why you show up as inspiring creative energy that embraces life, that celebrates beauty, and really in through around you is beauty, is because your gifts, your blessings, they have been given by Spirit. These are not man-made gifts, Spirit is saying. And your competitors, for whatever reason, they are stuck in some kind of low energy understanding of who you are. And really, all people who possess the gifts that you have, group number one, even though Spirit is saying you are quite unique. But there are many people, Spirit says, that it gives its blessings to. That Spirit is showing me a large hand lays upon your head. Like, Spirit's hand touches your head in a particular way, group number one. And when Spirit's hand is upon your head, you have the star shining brightly above you. It really draws people into you. So your competitors can't help but see how everyone is attracted to you. I mean, even people that this person, your competitor, would think had more power than you or had more prestige than you, they're seeing that you get their attention the same way. Spirit is saying all sexes are attracted to you, all sexual orientations are attracted to you. Even if you are strictly about one kind of orientation, you have multiple orientations that are attracted to you. Your light group number one, it even has people question their sexuality, like, oh, I thought I was just into men, but you may have some folks who, they may categorize themselves as bisexual, but they may have not been with the opposite sex in a while. But when they see you, group number one, they're like, group number one. You have people questioning everything about themselves because they're like, I didn't know someone like group number one existed. And now I need to know, am I qualified? Am I ready? You have even the most confident people wondering if they're ready, group number one. There's something about your beauty, your handsomeness, either gender, all genders, you have longer hair. Your hair is very flowing, kind of wavy. You wear a particular style of jewelry too. It could be like ethnic based. For some of you, this is very specific. You may be a water sign or Aquarius. I'm just going to say it because that's what I'm seeing. You could be an Aquarius, but you also could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. If you're not any of those, you're definitely in that energy to people. People see you as nurturing. People see you as just this beauty in the sky. Like when the North Star is out in your area and you can actually identify it amongst all the other stars in the sky. You know how people stop and they say, ooh, look. It's like that. And your competitors notice that you have that kind of stop and stare kind of quality to you. Especially group number one when you're feeling yourself, when you've got that beautiful piece of article of clothing on that kind of extenuates your skin tone. Some of you have the very kindest, gentlest eyes. I think that draws people in as well. Your physicality, you give off the energy to many people, group number one, as someone they should be connected to, someone who is possibly their soulmate. You are one of those people, group number one, that has many people claiming you are their soulmate. They're like, no, group number one actually is mine. I don't know why Spirit's bringing up that old song by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Is it Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson? I think so. The Girl Is Mine. Especially that part where they're talking. It's like, oh, no. Like, no. Really. Group number one is mine. So, I mean, group number one, whether you're aware of it or not, you have been the subject of some disagreements, perhaps some friend ruptures. You're that person that a few group of friends go to a party and they all see you and they're all like trying to talk to you. Some of the more sly, some of the more, external out front way, but you get all of their attention, and there's like a big kind of like vying for your attention. I think besides that, because some of you could be a Taurus too, because you do like pleasure, you do like to take care of yourself. You probably, some of you at some point in your life might have been a fruitarian, or you might be vegan or vegetarian, but you like to eat a lot of fruit. You might be a raw foodist. That's very specific, but you might have tried being a raw foodist at some time. So either way, birds are all around you, meaning you're quite the talk, group number one. And your competitors see this. They see that you're always the subject of some kind of conversation, good or bad. People notice you. And your competitor, I think where they fail is that they try to rely on more childish tactics when it comes to you. They try to create exclusive events where you're not invited, or they try to create some kind of like inner circle where they don't include you. They may try to create stories about you of like why you don't belong or why you just don't fit. Because I believe, group number one, you do have a story. You do have something about you that, for more simplistic people, it would seem as if you should be shunned, you should be excluded. For some of you, this is around your beliefs in your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs. They may be the kind of beliefs that are a little bit more conservative, a little bit more contained. And so your competitors try to make it seem as if you are a little bit too, I keep hearing that word, old fashioned. Like you're a little bit too traditional to like hang around us. We're so much more modern. We're so much more into like modern things. And so they may try to categorize you, group number one, this competitor, because they really don't understand that your religiousness is really spirituality. Like you have a relationship with the divine, and it shines through you. Once again, spirit is saying, group number one, you have some very specific gifts that have been bestowed upon you. For some of you, you may have wondered why your looks always seem to draw attention. Maybe you don't really like the attention. Some of you may have something about you that is very conventionally thought to be strikingly beautiful looks. Like you could be really tall, like taller than most people in your gender or culture. You could have different color eyes than some of the people that are part of your gender, not gender, but culture. You may just have a slightly different look that was inherited somehow. But this look gets interpreted as being kind of like supermodelish. You know what I mean? And it gives you a little bit of a distinction. It doesn't have to mean that everyone on this earth finds you attractive or all of that. It's just something about you that people notice as different. And I think it's just because maybe where you come from or where you live, people tend to have the similar looks, similar phenotypes. Your competitor also fails to notice your connection to God, your connection to spirit. And again, that keeps coming up. Like spirit keeps saying, your competitor thinks that what is being kind of highlighted about you is something that they can change under their own will. That's something they could do in terms of gossip or in terms of leaving you out or in terms of starting nasty rumors. They tend to think that's the thing that can stop you from being noticed. But you are quite a creative genius, group number one. It's not only your looks, but people love the things that you create. People love, if you are an artist, people love your artwork. People love whether you sing, whether you dance, whether you draw or paint or play an instrument. People love that. They think you are a prodigy, prodigy. So, in many ways, your competitors begin to fail because of their focus on you, their focus on trying to like hold you back in some kind of way. It only begins to build up a stack of bowls, 8 of cups, and these bowls become cracked and dirty because they only can deal in stagnant waters, your competitors. And so they don't understand that their focus on you, their intent on stopping you, group number one, it only stops themselves. It only impairs their progress. Yeah, and Spirit is saying your competitors, because I think often people see their jealousy and maybe even try to talk to them and pull them aside. Like, hey, group number one is not a bad person. Maybe you would get inspired by group number one. And this person might say, they can't inspire me in any way, and there's some kind of lack of accountability there with your competitors. They don't understand when they have, quote unquote, lost to you, group number one. And it just becomes something that I think people see as green-eyed envy. I don't know where that came from. Is that even I don't know, green-eyed envy. It's something that many people see in your competitor. It's a hard choice for them to see you as you are, group number one. And some of these people, within their own right, are very attractive themselves, very accomplished themselves, but they're like an upside down empress. They don't know how to choose themselves. They don't know how to focus their energy on themselves in ways that feel healthy. Your competitors are failing, quite bluntly, Spirit is saying, because they're too obsessed with you. They're too obsessed with what you're doing, group number one. They're too obsessed with who's talking to you. They're too obsessed with, for some of you, now this is very specific, because an upside down empress came out with a upright emperor. For some of you, this is someone whose husband really can't help but admire you, group number one. And since this emperor is upright, I would say that this admiration is not, it's not, it's actually quite platonic. Like this person, whoever is in emperor energy, really supports your work, really likes what you're doing with your work, may give you opportunities. And this is their spouse. Their spouse is very angry about this. But their spouse is coming from a place of like, oh, you just like this girl, or you just like this guy's look. It's not that. This emperor's upright. They have the sun shining behind them. So that sun knows a star when they see one. So this emperor may be investing in you. This emperor may be giving you opportunities. And their spouse is very hot about that, group number one. So in another way, your competitors are failing because they are putting their relationship at risk with this jealousy. Yeah. Another reason why your competitors fail is that they try to stop your prosperity. And I think that's something that Spirit takes very personally. Spirit has lifted you up in group number 1 to a place where you never have to worry about your finances. And if you aren't there yet, you are going there. It's coming in to your reality, because Spirit is saying this is the rewards for you maintaining dignity, maintaining your sense of purpose, and not getting caught up in mean girl kind of politics, regardless of gender. You know what I'm saying? Just like not bite for bite kind of stuff. Group number 1, you really hold yourself well when these, I don't know, Spirit's calling it indignities arise. You don't, you don't try to, bolster yourself as like you're the one telling the truth. There's something very quiet about your courage, group number 1. I think you have had a lifetime of dealing with jealous energies, and Spirit is saying your competitors fail by trying to prevent you from realizing your blessings. They can't do it anyway. But when they do try, they end up losing money themselves. They end up losing business themselves. So there's something really quite interesting here. It's almost, and Spirit said, look at the bottom of the deck, and it was like the Ace of Swords. Spirit's like, that is true. Like Spirit has put a special kind of energy over you. Like when people try to attack you, group number 1, they experience it. They burn down their own village. They burn down their own house. They play with fire that Spirit has set. Spirit has set the fire for you, group number 1. And people, your competitors, have to recognize that your fire is a spiritual fire that they cannot extinguish. The agreements between you and Spirit are just that, between you and Spirit. So if Spirit decides to bless you, if Spirit decides that you need these things, Spirit is going to give it into you until Spirit decides you don't need those things anymore. And I think you understand that, group number 1, that your relationship with Spirit is one of feeling blessed, but those blessings are never just a guarantee. You must stick to your agreements with Spirit. I would say lastly, group number 1, that your competitors have always tried to criticize who you love, who you go towards, who you give your cup to. These competitors could be very much like, I'm seeing like someone who's always complaining, oh, well, you only date this kind of person, or you only see these kind of persons. I mean, they're trying to make it some kind of value judgment. And for you, group number 1, you are really touching deeply into each person you're connected to. It has sometimes nothing to do with how they look, but more so how you both align. And I think in the way past group number 1, you may have felt as if you had to defend those choices. But now, 9 of Wands energy upright, you're here to stay. You, the authentic you, is here to stay. You have fought some battles, but your battles now, even Spirit is saying, have been surrendered to Spirit. Spirit has worked out the justice for you. Spirit has crowned you royalty of swords. Whether you are showing up as a king or a queen, you are now at the mountaintop. You are peaking. And lastly, on this card, there's another bird, the eagle, who is on your arm, ready to take off into the sky. Your familiar might be a bird of some sort, whether it's an eagle, whether it's an owl. What else am I seeing here? Whether it is, I had some other ones. It could also be a lion or a ram, but your familiar, for the most part, group number 1, is that of a bird. I'm hearing. But it could be a lion, could be a ram, or yeah, a ram. So, any other final messages, Spirit? Spirit's like, one more card from this deck. Okay, what do you have to say, Spirit? Yeah, lastly, your competitors will continue to fail, group number 1. And the main reason is that they have failed to do their own work. 9 of Cups is here. 9 of Cups is the realization that your gifts, your blessings, they are strictly yours. And they come as a result of following your purpose, following your mission, and knowing that life is very abundant. You praise people, group number 1. You support them when they win. And your competitors, they will continue to fail as long as they can never give you your flowers. As long as they will stay in jealous energy, they will continue to fail. And if they are cross-watching this, group number 1, you never know. Spirit is telling them that they should really consider changing their tactics, changing how they show up in the world, because you are eternally blessed. And Spirit keeps transforming anything they send towards you, group number 1, into a blessing for you. Wow. So, group number 1, if you resonated with any or all of that particular channeled message, could you please give me a thumbs up? It's just a simple way to help me grow this brand new channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you like the way that I channel messages, please subscribe and click that bell. You'll get notified when I upload new channeled messages or tarot readings. And group number 1, if this is where we part, well, I think you heard the blunt truth about your competitors. That jealousy will take you out. All right, group number 1, take care. Hello, my honeys. Group number 2. This is Kamara, the Black Dove Oracle, and welcome to your channeled message, where your competitors fail. This will be the blunt truth Spirit has been saying, because Spirit's going to say the things that maybe you don't say, group number 2, because you're like, wow, that would be very confident of me to say, but Spirit's saying someone's got to say it. Why you have competitors, why these competitors try the things that they try. Every competitor, Spirit is saying, given right now, has their own reasons for competing. And so Spirit said that some competitors are Spirit said, let me give you a confirmation on that. Group number 2, sometimes we do want our opponents to be good. You ever notice how you watch a professional, like a football game, and just one team is just not up to snuff, and the other team is just kind of mowing them over? It makes the game a little boring after a while, doesn't it? And so Spirit is pointing out here, group number 2, that sometimes we want our opponents to be up to the task. There's something there in that theme. I don't know if it's like you need that or this opponent, this competitor needs to understand that. So let's go to the opening card, because Spirit said to use this Vision Quest deck. I don't really use it that often. It's a very beautiful deck. But Spirit said use this Vision Quest deck to open it up. Ooh. And Spirit's at the bottom of the deck, which is okay. So we got the medicine wheel, the big medicine wheel, the wheel. Group number 2 is in reverse. And then at the bottom of the deck is the lovers. And even underneath that, Spirit said to look and take notice. 10 of Cups. And the moon is after that. I don't know why Spirit wants me to keep going. Okay. So Spirit is starting us out, group number 2, by saying the wheel. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is very important and indicates that we have reached the completion of something, right? The completion of a cycle. So when the wheel, the big wheel, is in reverse, Spirit wants me to look at something really quick, because Spirit is saying, I want you to read from this. So when the big wheel, it's about creation, a new paradigm, transmutation, global consciousness, individual awareness, altruism, openness, sharing, recognizing, and assuming your rightful place in life. Spirit is highlighting that, assuming your rightful place in life. And so when it's reversed, Spirit is pointing to major changes in circumstances, that the wheel is turning and showing you a new direction. It may relate to your work, love life, or an entire network of relationships. Do not let fear, doubt, hold you back. Something fresh and exciting is happening. Dare to plunge into the freedom of the unknown. I think the inner message here says this card embodies all stages of learning, visible and invisible. It stands physical, spiritual rebirth for completion. The big wheel encourages you to leave behind old lifestyles, embracing new phases. Let go of your past. Thank it. Bless it. And don't worry. Don't carry around, rather, the dead weight. But I heard worry. What really belongs to you will stay and always be available to you. But your past no longer exists. It's merely a memory that must now give way to an infinitely more fulfilling presence. It's time for you to seek great opportunity and wake up before it become more conscious of a different life. Okay. I get it, group number 2, because Spirit said it was necessary to read that. Your competitor. This is interesting. Your competitor is showing up to me, group number 2, as someone that you love. So I think this is a family member. Spirit's showing me a couple of different scenarios, and I'm going to mention both of them. One is that you may have, group number 2, become a new member of someone's family. Like maybe you married someone and they have children. And your marriage to this person signals a new beginning of life for this entire family, because you're in it. You are now a part of this family. And I get the sense you have very deep love for everyone in this family. And I think that love was cultivated before you even got married to this person. But now that you both are married, things are coming up. And I think there is a member in the family that sees you now as competition. It's not something you like to talk about, group number 2. It's not something you even like to acknowledge is happening, but it could be with one of your partner's children. It could be one of your partner's parents. It could be anyone really in the family that was close to your partner before they got married to you, or even now, they could still be close to your partner. It's just that now you hold a particular position in their mind, one that threatens their relationship with your spouse. It would be spouse or partner. You could be married to this person, you could just be really deeply partnered. Either way, group number 2, Spirit is showing me that this competitor, we're just going to put them, I'm going to call them that, but they are some kind of family member. This competitor, they like to do hidden things that will, they think, bring disruption to your relationship. Yeah. And this is really a hard position to be in, group number 2, because the other image that Spirit is showing me is that this could be a person in your family who sees you as competition now, because you might just be doing well in life, that you've recently gotten married, you've recently found your another, you've kind of combined families, and maybe this person feels like that is a threat. Your newfound relationship and marriage, it feels like a threat to the relationship you had with them. And this could be somebody in your own side of your family, your side of the family. Whatever way, they have decided to become your competitor. And in this, Spirit is saying, when Spirit uses this word competitor, it means that they have decided to become your enemy. Even though you have deep love for them, they have decided that your happiness is something that's a bit of an enemy. They're an enemy to your happiness. And this can be, Spirit is saying, deeply disturbing to you, group number 2. Something that you've been wanting to feel like you want to talk to them about it, but you're not sure, how to do this. Because this person might use a lot of humor, a lot of denial, especially around the truth. And this person also could show up in the energy of someone who is using their position to self-aggrandize. They want to make it seem as if they're in total support of this new union, that there's nothing more that they could love about this. But in some ways, they feel as if they have to play the mediator. Ooh, for some of you, this person insists on playing the mediator to ruptures they've created between you and your partner. They like to pretend they're giving great advice to your partner about the more recent ruptures that they have instigated, that they have created. This is a really hard energy to deal with, group number 2. But Spirit is saying your competitor will fail. Spirit's like, yeah, let's get to that. Your competitor is going to fail because Spirit watches everything, and Spirit says they will be made to be accountable. And accountability will happen. And I think that at first you may wonder, group number two, if you should share what your feelings. Maybe some of you have been hesitant to share with your partner what you think is going on. And maybe your partner has been seeing some things but hasn't been really saying much. But Spirit is saying your partner is about to hold someone accountable. What your competitor doesn't realize, group number two, is that your partner, your spouse, loves you a lot and would not have brought you into the family if they did not feel very grounded, even secure in your relationship. Your partner knows you too, group number two. This partner knows your true desires, what really drives you. And it's very hard for someone to come in and try to rearrange that. I think the relationship you have right now, group number two, I think a lot of it from the front, is Spirit is saying a lot of it was front loaded with a lot of truth telling. You and your partner share a real deep connection. Maybe you both are a little bit older. You've been around the block a few times. And so this relationship, I don't think it was something either one of you were kind of looking for. I think it happened and you both decided very intentionally, group number two, that you both would tell each other the truth at all cost. And that you both did a lot of deep dives with each other before you became partnered. I'm seeing even for some people before you became married, you did a lot of deep dives. You both may have even gone to couples therapy. I mean, that's just specific. But some of you may have got some couples counseling, not because there were trouble. It was just you both wanted to make sure there was nothing that was going to trip you up. And I think you both decided to focus on yourselves, which is interesting because Spirit is saying, group number two, that you both focus more on yourselves and not really on your family. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Someone in one scenario, because there's a few coming out for group number two, you're in some kind of blended family situation. But in one scenario, someone in the family feels like their inheritance is threatened. Maybe because they're feeling as if you and your partner have children now, those children are now part of the pie. I hate that, but this is a blunt truth channeled message, you all. But there are some people who are in families who just think about inheritance, who just think about what they're going to get when someone leaves this earth. So there is somebody there who really thinks that either you or your spouse may have to choose between children, or there's some real more immature thoughts there. Your competitors are going to fail because their tactics, they just don't work for the kind of relationship, group number two, you have with your partner. I think they fail to understand the depth, and I keep hearing this, that you and your partner have the amount of trust. But they also don't understand you, group number two, whoever this family member is. They don't understand that you, because of your life experiences, you no longer play checkers. You just play chess. And so when you're witnessing their manipulation, their moves, you're not exactly letting it be shown that you're affected. You're actually even, maybe some of you are even playing into looking a little bit more confused. Some of you really know how to play up confusion, because I think you've gone into a place now, group number two, where you realize, oh, this has got to change. I'm not letting this energy disrupt the harmony of my relationship. So the death card is here and it's upright, and there's a storm above you, group number two, but you are right in the middle of all the chaos of the horses, and the horses are like calm. You're keeping them calm. You're standing in the middle of the chaos and you're like very clear. You're starting to understand that some people in the family are not your friends. Some people in the family are not the people that you need to hang out with and talk to and share confidences with. No. In fact, I think you are starting to figure out now that you need to work on the things, your goals, your relationship, your family, your immediate family. If this is someone who's kind of more on the extended part, you're just holding tight to the things that in your immediate family you're responsible for. Yeah, you just keep offering the cups. You keep presenting the cups. You keep meeting them with kindness, but also your partner meeting them with some kind of accountability. It's all, I think you're going to come up with your partner with some kind of strategy for this. Some of it is going to be having some more depthful conversations about how people may feel threatened, may feel as if they don't understand where this relationship is going to impact them. And I think that you all are going to just start to understand that you don't have to accept everything that they're giving. You don't have to believe everything they're talking about. You can just choose to put them in the place where they need to be in your family. They may stop having direct access to you and your partner on the intimate level. They may not get to know certain pieces of information, but sure, they get invited to things. They get access that they deserve. Group number two. That's what Spirit is showing me. You're going to just limit their access to what they know about your partnership, around your relationship, and it will bring a sense of balance. Instead of you all kind of doing these huge, you know, talks with different people in the family, you both kind of hold your decisions and then you let people know when the time is appropriate. You both are a little bit more holding the energy yourself, and then you share the great news later. So an example Spirit is showing me is like, oh, instead of telling everyone, hey, we're trying to get pregnant, you don't really say anything until the pregnancy is 3 months happening. Oh, we're getting ready. We're expecting the baby in 6 months. Oh, wow, you all never talked about this. Oh, well, we're talking about it now. It's one of those kinds of strategies where you all hold a little bit more closer to yourselves. And this competitor will fail in that sense because they didn't realize you all are true partners. You're in a true partnership, a true collaboration. And that's something this competitor failed to understand, is that you all prioritize each other. You prioritize each other's happiness, and that you do talk. You do communicate. You do plan. Very interesting, huh? Let me see. Are there any final messages here, Spirit? Why does group number two's competitors, where do they fail? Yeah, they just fail to understand, group number two, you are truly your partner's wish fulfillment. Yes, this is not, Spirit is saying here, and it's very specific, maybe for somebody in this group, your partner may have had a past where their relationships were not that great. Maybe their relationships were a little transient. But when they met you, they kind of just flipped the script. I mean, and I think somebody in their family was trying to play that up, your partner's past failures, relationship failures. And group number 2, this is just a different relationship. And so they fail to understand that. They fail to get that you both have done tremendous amount of healing and growth to have the healthy relationship you have. Right. So group number 2, if you resonated with any or part of this collective channeled message, could you please give me a thumbs up? It's a great way to help me grow this brand new channel. And if you like the way that I channel messages and you like this audio style, I'm not saying it's the only style I do, but it will be for a little bit because I have some other things going on, then subscribe. And if you click that bell, you'll get notices of when I upload new channeled messages and tarot readings. And my honeys, if this was your group, congratulations on a very powerful and healthy relationship. That's really inspiring to hear about. Okay, I'll see you in my next readings. Hello, my honeys. Group number 3, this is your channeled message. I am Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle Podcast, where your competitors fail. The blunt truth. Because Spirit's saying, why let's beat around, why beat around the bush? You have some competitors, and Spirit's like, we're going to talk about how they are failing, how they have failed. It could be past, it could be present, it could be in the future. Because some of our competitors continuously are our competitors. They don't stop. You know, group number 3, Spirit was like, I was using this deck for a personal reading earlier, and Spirit was like, no, I like this deck. Let's use it to do the opening vibe check. So this is a Vision Quest deck. It's a very beautiful deck. I just don't use it that often, but it's very beautiful. So let's tap in, group number 3, where your competitors fail. Well, we have the Page of Wands here. We have the Queen of Wands here. And we have the 8 of Swords here in reverse. You know, group number 2 had something about family, but it was more blended family. But I'm going to tell you, group number 3, your competitor could be someone who's directly related to you. It's definitely someone on your side of the family. It could be as close as a mother-daughter situation. But you know what Spirit is pointing out to me here, especially with the 8 of Swords? This particular kind of competitiveness, it's about following in someone else's shoes. Because Spirit said in the beginning of this whole entire channeled message, Spirit was like, all of these groups are going to be a little different. And so group number 3, your competitor, in a strange way, and we're going to refer to them as a competitor, could be someone who's expected to follow in your footsteps, or vice versa. We're going to get clarity. This could be someone who's expecting you to follow in their footsteps. Could be a mother and daughter, could be a niece, nephew, and an aunt or an uncle, could be grandchild, grandparent. It's something kind of like that dynamic. One person is definitely younger, and one person is definitely a little bit older and more experienced. When I look at the avatar, because Spirit keeps saying, look at the avatar is young looking. So, like even a little bit younger than all the other avatars. So I'm thinking this is the way of the young person being more in the competitor position. But let's see what unfolds. That 8 of Swords, it's in reverse because I think this competitor is starting to understand that they're not a prisoner to how their life needs to turn out. They're not, even though there's some expectations that you may have, group number 3, it's not everything that they need to do. Like, they don't need to be like you. There's something about you, group number 3, and I want to kind of get more about your energy. You're coming out as the Queen of Wands, meaning you are kind of this badass, right? I'm just going to say it bluntly because we're doing the blunt truth here. You are a badass. Like, you have taken your life in many ways and turned it around, from what I'm hearing from Spirit. And the way that you wield fire, the way that you have this passion, the way that you go about doing things, the way that the community listens to you, the way that you are held in high regard and with much responsibility. You are a really powerful leader here. This person feels threatened by that. It's almost as if they feel as if the way that they want to live their life is a little bit different. The way that they hold fire is different from yours. And there's something here, group number 3, where you're like, yes, you're going to be different because you're not on the throne. I'm on the throne. I'm on the throne doing this. Your decisions, the way that you do things, the way that you're going to learn how to work with fire is your own way. But you are not there yet. Wow, that is what I'm hearing. Spirit is chiming in saying you are not ready yet to take this throne. There is things that you have to learn. There are things you have to understand about wielding your power. Wow, group number 3. This is something you have telling your competitor. You're like, you're not ready to be in my shoes yet. Yes, will you be one day? Yes. And I'm not holding you back, but I'm also seeing where your development needs to happen. Wow. Yes. There's something about the way that you are mediating this person's future with this person's present moment. And as their competitor, they're failing to see that you are the authority. You are in a position of authority, that you are going to make decisions, that you are going to tell them they need to wait. They need to learn this. They need to understand this. If this is a child of yours that's kind of in their more teenage years, you may be telling them you are not ready for certain kinds of responsibilities. You may be putting up some boundaries around how late they can stay out. Because this may be a younger teenager, not really necessarily an older teenager, but this might be like someone who just turned 13 or 14 who wanting, they're wanting to hang out, and you're like, no, hon, you're not ready for that yet. Or they're wanting to have a certain kinds of actual relationships, and you might be like, no, are you ready to have children? No, you're not ready for that yet. There's something there, like at that real fundamental level, group number 3, you might be dealing with. In other ways, some of you have medicine. Some of you are very powerful healers. And there may be someone younger in the family who's like, well, let me just step in. And you're like, no, this has taken years of training, knowing the traditions, knowing the herbs. You're not just ready to start making medicine. There's something there. And here's what I'm going to say. Take it on a spectrum, group number 3. You could just simply own a business. Not just simply, but I'm saying you could own a business and someone younger is wanting to come in to manage it, or they want to take over the books, or, like there's something they want to do that you don't feel they're quite prepared for yet. And in some ways, they're seeing that they are becoming your competitor. They're wanting to show that, they have mysteries too. They have talent too. But they're coming from it at a very younger perspective. They're not seeing the work. They're not seeing the journey. And I think group number 3, so maybe group number 2, there's something there for you. Group number 3, they're unsure of the journey that has been required of you. And in many ways, you have wrestled with this, maybe group number 3, because you're saying, well, I don't want to seem like I'm blocking someone's progress, but I think you see inherently in some of the work that you do, you see some of the pitfalls of not having maturity. You see some of the pitfalls of not being able to be old enough to take accountability for things that may turn out wrong, for mistakes that might be made. Maybe you're not feeling like this person can do all of that. Yeah, for some of you, you see this younger energy as just being enticed by the money they'll make. For some of you, this is around some kind of spiritual shamanism and how this person really wants to look the part, but you want them to train so their heart is in the part. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's very specific, but that's for someone out there. So Spirit is saying in many ways your competitor will fail because they're immature, they're not ready, they're not prepared, and they also do not listen to you. They have many false beliefs about what power is. They have many false beliefs around their own visibility and lack and things of that nature. They are in a place in their life, your competitor, group number 3, where they just want to look the part. I keep hearing that from Spirit, instead of actually being embodied in this work. So there are huge misalignments on how you both see the work that you both want to be in. And you see the dangers of letting someone assume roles that they're not prepared for. In what way will your competitor fail? I think you're concerned about them failing, group number 3. You don't want them to make a huge mistake that could possibly end up being something they can't take back. You're also concerned about them being in charge of like a huge amount of finances. You're not sure about how they have the ability to manage money. You're also not sure if they can really do well with failure. They seem to demonstrate to you, group number 3, that they get really depressed when things go wrong, that they can't really hold and ground the moving pieces of whatever work you both share. Yeah. You wish that this younger competitor could really be more patient, could demonstrate a sense of patience, that they could allow for that patience to not indicate they're not ready, but more to indicate they're on the right track, they're learning, they're growing. Yeah. In many ways, group number 3, Your competitors will fail because they see you as someone who's standing in their way instead of someone who's trying to help them. And for you, I get a sense of sadness around this because I believe you want to do everything in your power to prepare this person to be their very best. Because you understand there's something about the work that you both share or do. You understand some of the pitfalls that maybe you have shielded them from. You understand that not everything about this path is about making a lot of money and buying all the fancy cars and all this other stuff. Whatever work you're in, some of you, that's kind of like could be the lifestyle. But, you have shielded them from some of the things that do happen behind the scenes. And I think you're wondering now, as a Queen of Cups energy, if you should share that more. Because there are tougher moments in the business, I'm hearing, and you want them to be prepared, but you don't want to start presenting these things as a way of deterring them, because they still might take it as if you're trying to discourage them. And Spirit is saying they will fail because they're not seeing how you want to prepare them for this path. And their path, group number 3, will be a bit rocky. Spirit is actually saying to read on this card for a minute. The Death card. Yeah. Wow. So Spirit is saying here that your competitor, they need to understand the nature of change. That we can't control death. Okay, wait, ooh. This is very specific for someone, but you may be mentoring someone who's younger than you, but this could be like a medical situation. Like operating or surgeries or something where there are high stakes. I mean, yes, you could make money. Maybe this is even plastic surgery. I don't know why that's coming up, you all. But anyway, there's something where, yes, you can make a lot of money doing this stuff, but you're also, people's lives are in your hands. It's something like that, group number 3. And you're trying to tell this person, listen, just because I want you to take it slow doesn't mean I don't have confidence in you. Just because I don't want you to jump into more responsibility, it doesn't mean I don't believe in you. It just means that I want to see you demonstrate care. Maybe care with other people's lives, care with the process. If it's not surgery or medical things, it could be other things. It could be even running a daycare and being responsible for people's kids. It could be anything. But here, with that Death card coming out, the Death card is showing a rocky road for this person. And Spirit is saying to you, group number 3, where they are failing is to listen to you, to heed your warnings. And they will fail because Spirit is kind of really emphasizing this word failure. They will fail along this road. But here's what I do want to say. The road, even though it has cracks and bumps and gaps, it's also filled with flowers. So this person, Spirit is saying, for you, group number 3, the message for you, group number 3, is that you have got to understand this person may have to learn the hard way. Some people, they have to learn that way. They have to learn by their own experiences and by their own hands. And Spirit is saying, yeah, but it not on your watch. So Spirit is saying it may end up that you will not allow them under your watch to do things because Death card came out again, but in reverse. Yeah, you will become also the King of Wands here. So you did come out as the Queen of Wands, and you're also coming out as the King of Wands, meaning you will order action. You will put some order around action. You will not let someone go willy-nilly under your watch. So you will double down on your authority, group number 3. And in that way, they will fail, because I think that they will find, yeah, they will find other opportunities. They will not understand that there's a strategy for everything. They will go ace of swords in reverse. Yeah, they will act impulsively. They will do something without thinking about it, and they're just not going to do it while you are around. Wow. Yeah. Spirit is saying very much here, they are failing because they don't understand your authority, that you do take charge, and they don't understand your wisdom, especially in some kind of current situation. They may be really trying you on something recently, and you're like doubling down, like, no, you're not ready. Last few messages, group number 3. Why will your competitors fail? Because they're too impulsive. They do things without thinking. They don't have a plan. They don't have a strategy. You're not with it. Why will your competitors fail? Yeah, they act too quick. 8 of Wands. Okay? They act impulsively. They don't seem to have any kind of control over their actions. They prefer to be on the inside. They prefer to be validated and called something without really embodying that thing. They don't make good decisions. That is why they will fail. Group number 3. And like I said, because Spirit is bringing me back to the beginning energy, you have a cup for this person. You really care for them. But I think this will end up turning that cup over. Not in a way of like you don't care about them anymore, but it's going to rupture the relationship. And in that way, Spirit is also saying your competitor will fail. They will regret losing your mentorship. They will regret losing you in this part of your relationship. If they're family, they're always going to be your family, right? But they will regret something that they do that kind of pulls you both away from each other in a particular sense. So group number 3, if you resonated with any or all of this channeled message, could you consider giving me a thumbs up? It's just a simple way to help me grow this brand new channel. I've been challenged with, fewer views lately because of just some things I complained to YouTube about in terms of like people harassing me, but I guess that's not what people do because YouTube kind of slows down all of your views. All that to say, if you can give more support to this channel and you resonate with the readings, I would appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, please do so and click that bell because you'll get notified when I upload new channel messages. In group number 3, if this is where we part, I have to say, Spirit has strongly also suggested to you to hold your ground because you do know what you're talking about. Okay, my honeys, I will see you in the next reading. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. I am the Black Dove Oracle in group number 4. This is your channeled message where your competitors fail. Yeah, Spirit said at the very beginning, these were all going to be very different, and they have been. I think if you're attracted to group 2 and 3, they may seem the same, but wow, they turn out to be different. So, yeah, they may start off looking the same, but they're actually not the same. So, group number 4, I'm kind of wondering what's going to turn up here. Spirit said to start off with a deck that I don't use very often, and it's a beautiful deck. I just think it gets lost among my collection. It's called the Vision Quest deck, and Spirit is saying here that to get the opening vibe of group number 4's reading, especially when it comes to where your competitor fails. We have 5 of Swords, fear. And we have the small medicine wheel in reverse. Spirit says one more card. We have chaos in reverse. Spirit is pointing me to look at the card for at the book for this, because I read it for group number 3 and it was very helpful. 5 of air. Part of this competitor's energy towards you, group number 4, it has to do with some kind of inherent fear they have around you. That's very interesting. Yeah. There's something here that they're afraid will happen if you get a chance, group number 4, at a new beginning. They're very fearful of it. They don't want a new beginning to happen for you, which is what the small medicine wheel is about. It's the Wheel of Fortune. So the small medicine wheel is about a promising start, change, success, outgoing energy, a new phase in your life. They're afraid for you to have this, group number 4. And I think this happens because, let's see, 15, 16. Because that kind of change for you, it really says something about them, group number 4. You being able to take your life and literally turn it around. This is not only fear provoking for this person, it's something that they find very disturbing. I wonder why Spirit used that word, disturbing. Spirit's saying to go to these cards next. What is it? Why will your competitors fail? Wow. Because they have a lot of false beliefs about who you are, group number 4. I think for a long time, and this is going to sound weird, this might be someone who was a teacher of yours, someone who was in a position to mentor you, someone who was in a position to help you when you were really going through some things. Wow, Spirit's saying it could be somebody's therapist. Wow. But this person, even if it's someone in your family who's really helped you through some trying times, now that you're getting better, now that you are taking control of your life, now that you can really see in your worth and you really know how to stay grounded in that worth, this person feels as if you don't need them anymore. That you're somehow trying to surpass them, which really doesn't make any sense, does it? But that is sometimes what happens for people who have lived really chaotic lives, such as yours, group number 4, in the beginning. Yours could have been very chaotic. You may have come from a very painful childhood. You may have had to make it through a series of I don't know, addictions or mental health setbacks. And now that you're on top, you don't need people the way you used to need them. I think you need their support still, but you're actually showing great promise in doing things on your own. You've developed a rhythm and a strategy for your life. And the way that your competitors have failed is that they have decided to bond to your trauma and not you, group number 4. That is deep. That's real deep. They want to be in a savior role versus a role of someone who really wants the very best for you. This person sees you, group number 2, as their eternal student, someone who must always continue to learn from them, someone who, oh, that police song is coming to my mind. Maybe spirit is showing, that line in the old police song, wrapped around your finger. He's talking about being a student of this master, right? But he says at one point he does become the master, and he says, what's that line? Your face will turn to alabaster when you realize your student is your master. That is this person's fear. That is your competitor's fear, is that you will one up them, that you will prove to be the more masterful, I don't know, teacher, healer. Very interesting, huh? This person, while they seemed like they were on your side when they were helping you, they were doing that to keep you as a child, group number 4. They wanted you to stay in a childlike position to them, deferring to them. They felt like that was your true nature. Some of this is rooted in, I hate to say it, discrimination, racism, colonization. The person doesn't believe that a person like you that's been through all the things they've been through is actually prepared for leadership. This person has some inherent faulty beliefs about who you are, or maybe even who your culture is. Take it where it resonates. This person wants to be a guide, wants to be a savior to you. This person wants to be the one that connects you to all of the networks. This person wants a certain kind of control over your life, group number 4. They want to control over your success. They don't want to see you reach the pinnacle of who you are because they see it. Group number 4. They see it in your eyes. They see it in your passion. They see that you are getting ready to take whatever they've been doing at a very mediocre level. You're getting ready to take it to the stars. You are someone, and I'm getting this group number 4. Spirit is saying this is not the only energy that's like that around you. There are many people around you who claim to support you, who claim to want to see you elevate, group number 4. But it's the skin you're in. I hate to say it, it's the skin you're in. It's the identity you're in. They don't want it to be too much, too far. Because then you begin to have the power to challenge them in ways they don't want to be challenged. They would like for you to stay a wounded child and for them to kind of be able to guide you here and there to make small wins, but not the win. There was a rapper, I can't even tell you their name because this is old. I may have to look it up. Hold on for a second, because it was the soundtrack to the movie Slam. And there's this movie in here. I mean, not movie. There's this song in here. Which one is it, though? That movie soundtrack, that movie, by the way, is really cool. It wasn't like a big blockbuster or anything, but it featured a lot of spoken word. So if you have a chance to watch it, it's called Slam. It the soundtrack was off the hook. I mean, for its time. And I still think it's off the hook. Q-Tip did a song. Brand Nubian was in there. KRS-One. But there's this one song. I thought that there was a rapper. Is this the wrong? I don't know. Maybe it's. I think it's the one called I Can See. Because a lot of the guys, it's a female rapper, and a lot of these are guys, right? But the song 13, I Can See, I think that's a song I would have to play it later. Anyway, there's a line in there where, the female rapper is saying, people are acting like I shouldn't want to make more money than Oprah. I don't know if she called it money. Forgive my accent. But anyway, she was saying, and there's something about that line when she's like, people are acting like I shouldn't want to make more dough than Oprah. It's like, yeah, like there's something there about these relationships you have with certain people where you're at group number 4, where they're putting you in a little bitty box with a little glass ceiling. They're like, oh, okay, you can do these things as long as you don't surpass me. As long as you don't think at some point you will have power over me. And this is really sad. I think it's a sad truth that you are coming to group number 4. And it's where your competitors will fail because their support of you is very limited. Their support of you is very conditional. They have a real fear of supporting you at a level which would allow you to really take your intellect, your passion, your abilities to a place they couldn't have never imagined. This is about power. This is about political relationships. Spirit is saying that they are afraid of your action. 8 of Wands. They are so afraid of where you're going, what you're going to do, and how you are going to rebuild your life and maybe help others like yourself to rebuild their life. They're afraid of you earning the income that you can earn because it might be the same as theirs. They're afraid of you becoming a huge holder of a huge pinnacle. They're afraid of you being the wielder of justice in the form of temperance. They're afraid of you balancing your life and no longer being the victim. This is about a power you can only receive from God, full circle. Because group number 1 was about this too. What your competitors fail to understand, blunt truth, group number 4, is that they have no control over your trajectory. They have no power over who you are becoming. All they can do is stand by and watch, or Spirit is giving them the choice to assist. But many have proven they will not assist you. They will watch you like the sun up in the sky and the star. You got the sun and the star right next to each other. There is something that you are set out to do, group number 4, that I don't even think you understand until it happens. Maybe you do. You are going to be the sun and the star. Very few people hold that position. It means that your destiny was already written. Your destiny has nothing to do with whether people support you, gossip about you, give you really bad options. It doesn't matter. They could throw you out in the trash and you would have the trash looking like gold coins the next day. Okay, group number 4, let's be blunt here. You are destined for greatness. And if you're not already in that greatness, I don't, the timelines are different. We're doing this collectively. Your options continuously grow as you pick your feet up and walk. They grow like sprouts underneath your feet, your options. They can't do anything about this. And Spirit is saying your blessings have already completed this round for you. The world is here. And in the world you have known and are ready to move on out of this phase with them. All they will do, if you go to my TikTok, rooted_futures, and you look at one of the readings I pinned, there's one that has over 300,000 views. That's the one I want you to watch because they don't allow me to do titles on those. So watch that one. That's your message. They will realize that they once had access to you, group number 4, your competitors. And in that way, they purely have failed. Because that's you. That's who you are. That's who you are becoming. That's all of you. Spirit says there's more. Okay, what else, Spirit? How have your competitors failed? Your competitors have failed by underestimating your courage, which really is funny, Spirit is saying, because they watched you do all of what you've done so far. How could you have done that without courage? Well, I guess in their mind, they did more for you than they thought. That's in their mind. Your competitors will fail, group number 4, because they don't understand that your comeback energy is quite strong. You don't let anything hold you down for too long. You know how to pick yourself up and try again. You dust off your shoulders. You work with Spirit. Some of you even get your power through working with spirit under the different moon phases. Like you do some spiritual work to help you increase your power. Yeah, you don't mind working with Spirit. Some of you are Wiccan witches. You use your power for good. You use it for your work that you're doing. 8 of Pentacles. You don't mind walking away from shit once you're done. Group number 4. Like, this is what your competitors don't understand. They are just a moment in your life. You will have many moments in your life. And this kind of maturity that you're stepping into, because I think many of you sadly have realized that some of these people are your competitors, not your supporters. And Spirit is saying maybe that was something you will continuously have to heal from a little bit, because it's hard when people want to disguise themselves as supporters when they're actually detractors. But this is the 7 of Swords situation that you see, group number 4. I think some of you, this might be my psychic pile as well. You're definitely my psychics, my seers, my witches. You saw this person. Yeah, 7 of Staffs, 7 of Swords. You see them all around you, scurrying, trying to do their best to trip you up, give you misinformation, not invite you to things, whatever they're doing. It doesn't matter. Spirit is saying here, they have already, wow, look at this. 7 of Coins, 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands. They underestimate you, the power of your work, the power of who you are. Yeah. Temperance has come out a couple of times. That really is your energy. And the big thing, you're about to realize a prosperity that I don't think you even see coming, group number 4. But these people, these competitors, see it coming. They don't want their offers to go to you. But guess what? When the world starts to see your work, it's not even a question, group number 4. You will start, if your work involves grants, you're going to start getting grants. If your work involves any kind of promotion or any kind of opportunities, you're getting them, or you will be getting them. Some of you are seeing that already on some kind of like medium level, but it's about to ramp up. Group number 4, last few messages from Spirit. Yeah. Ignite your passions. Group number 4. Spirit is showing me turn up the heat. You may have been in these environments feeling like you had to play small because that was the energy you were getting around you. Turn it up. Go full throttle. That's what Spirit is saying. Yeah, dream and journey. Dream and journey. Your dreams, group number 4, will bring you to where you need to be. Pay attention to them. Follow them. Spirit says that's how it's communicating with you. Wow, group number 4, I just felt like all of this energy in this particular reading, and what a one to kind of end this entire channeled message on. Because I believe Spirit is saying there's something in your message for everyone that came before you. There's something in your message for everyone who's listening to this right now. If you are listening to this right now, it doesn't matter. You might have just been listening to it because it kind of flowed from the other groups. It doesn't matter. Group 4. If you're listening to this right now, Spirit is saying it's for you. It's for you. Something in here is for you. So, my honeys, if you resonated with any or all of this particular channeled message for group 4, can you please give it a thumbs up? It's just an easy, simple way to help me grow this brand new channel. And if you like the way that I channel messages and want to stay connected, please subscribe. If you click that bell, you will get notified when I upload new channeled messages and tarot readings. My honeys, group number 4, all of us, this is a new dawn. And competitors who think they can hold us back, they have no power over you. Remember that, my honeys. All right, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Take care.